Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. This is a channel where our goal is to awaken you to who you really are, to help you break away from the confines of the personality that the world has turned you into thinking you are, to restore you to your divinity, to guide you back to the freedom of your own creative processes. You are a spiritual entity here to learn how to create. That's why you're in this physical dimension. And today I've got with me the energy of Archangel Raphael, who wants to talk about healing and confusion. Because there's a lot of confusion around illness and disease and healing, and people scratching their heads and wondering why I'm getting sick and why I can't heal. And we're going to discuss that with Archangel Raphael today. Good morning, everybody. So just give us a minute to get started. For those of you that are new on TikTok or on YouTube, for those of you on TikTok, I'm sorry it's reversed. I have to figure out how to change the settings while I'm live so this you can actually see what these words say. These words are very, very important. You are love. You're not going to hear those words from a doctor. You're not going to hear those words from a politician. You're not going to hear those words from a priest or a rabbi or a minister. They will not tell you the truth about who you are. You are a spiritual entity here in this physical dimension, learning how to function creatively. And your primary consciousness is that you are love. What happens from the moment you come into this physical world is where all the confusion and mayhem begin, where you begin to be given ideas and beliefs, information, ideologies that conflict with your true nature. That's why so many people are confused today. But let us go here. I want to make certain I can find this. What a beautiful soul you are. So before we get right into this, I want to say a couple of things to all of you. Listen, read these words and think these words in your mind. You are love. Think those words to yourself because they are true. You aren't flawed or broken or damaged. The information, the ideas you may have been given have caused you to believe certain things about yourself that are more than likely not true. If you're feeling confused or uncertain about your life, it is not because of who you essentially are, but it's because of who you've been taught to think you're supposed to be, the personality that the world has given you. Now, one of the things Raphael said he wanted to make very clear is that it's you must understand that the world has taken you away from yourself and put you into the ideation that it wants you to live in. This has prevented you from being able to maintain the quality of your own mind and to be able to affect wholeness in your body, in your mind, and in your creative process. You have been so distracted by your senses, by what others have told you to think, to feel, to believe, that you are almost wholly disconnected from your true power as a thinker, as a healer, as a creating intelligence. You are a creating intelligence here to manifest conditions of your creative consciousness, altering and changing your physical conditions in this world as a function of who you are as a soul, a spirit of universal light. Now, he says that we have become so disconnected from our inner healer. In your body is a living, breathing, healing intelligence. It knows how to, the intelligence in your body knew how to build heart and lungs and liver and kidneys and bones and blood. It knew how to build nerves, a brain. It knew how to make eyes, ears, and nose. There's an intelligence that you are a part of that lives inside you, and you have been distracted and pulled away from it by the seductions of your senses of this world that has told you to look out here, look out there, look out everywhere, but not within you. They do not tell you to look, that there's this powerful healer inside you that you can build a relationship with, and you can ask it to do things for you. As easily as you can ask it to tell you to pick up a glass of water. As easily as you can tell your hand to open and close, the healer within you can do likewise, but there are very few men in this world that will tell you that you can communicate with the healer inside you, and that it will respond to you when you have a sufficient connection to it. But that connection must be consciously, deliberately, and intentionally cultivated. It's easy if you cut your hand to watch the healer at work and you assume that that's what it does and you trust that, but you can ask it to do so much more. But you've been told that the place of your happiness, the place for your fulfillment, the place for your joy exists exclusively in the world, that you will find it out in the world of your senses. And as a result, you've lost your true sense of who you are and what you are capable of as a sentient being living in a physical medium of creation. This is a physical medium of creation that you are existing in right now. And you are here to learn the function of creation. You are here to learn that you have autonomy and authority over your body, that you have authority and autonomy over your own mind. And this has become very difficult for so many of you, for you hear the pleasing words and sounds of your leaders, your so-called healers that are not healing at all. And you've been taught to believe that they will find and solve your problems, but your problems keep getting bigger and more difficult. And it is not because there's anything fundamentally wrong with any of you. It is because you are disconnected from the very source of who you are as a creative intelligence. That your body is designed by nature to follow your instructions, or the instructions that other people will give it if you allow them to do this. If you allow people to give you instructions, oh, this means that, or this means this. If you eat this, this will happen. If you do it, you've been given instruction that disconnects you and places you in a position of reliance on those who would gain great advantage from your suffering, not your freedom. But inside your body that is beating that heart right now is a great healing intelligence. That if you so get into a deep enough rapport with it, that it will respond to you as easily as your body responds when you tell it to stand or sit, to smile, to be joyful, to be sad. Your consciousness that is within you will respond accordingly to the information that you provide it with, or the information that's provided for you. Or you may learn, and we hope you would learn, that you can create your own ideas and beliefs about your consciousness, your own ideas and belief about how you can affect matter, to learn how to use the beautiful instrument that you've been gifted with, that you are here to learn the function of creation through, that you can learn to honor this great temple that you hear these words through right now. You are in a divine temple in the body that you are in. It is a divine temple of consciousness that you have autonomy and authority over. If you begin to reason carefully, the simple things of how you would walk and how you would talk and how you put your clothing on and how you comb your hair and brush your teeth and what you eat and what you drink, these are all functions that you ask the consciousness to perform for you. The consciousness of the body that says, I'm thirsty, and you say, okay, and the body picks up your glass and it drinks your water. But many of you are confused because of your disconnection. And the world would seek to keep you in this confusion, for those that would gain benefit from your suffering are larger in number than they were 100 or 200 of your earth years ago. Those that would gain benefit from your suffering have grown immensely. But we are here quite simply to give you the opportunity to remember this statement of being. You are love. It is what you are. It is not something you acquire from flesh or men. It is the nature of what you are. And the function of your nature is different than the function that's been given to you by the world to believe or accept that is your function. That you are this way or you are that way. That you are one thing or another. to accept these definitions without knowing who you are will lead to your confusion and greater confusion still. But to step back from the thinking mind that has been placed in your brain, the thinking mind that humanity has given you through its delusions of separateness from its own divinity, that you can have the opportunity to turn your attention inward, away from the distractions of mind, away from the distractions of the world, to get back into rapport with the consciousness within you. That nameless consciousness that is within you right now, that says to you, ask and you shall receive. I will do your bidding. It is within you. And whether that asking is good or not good, it will provide it for you, for it does not question, it simply gives. But it is within you, but many of you have forgotten this. And many of you believe that the words and the wisdom and the books that men have provided for you that would seek to ameliorate your confusion has not. Much of what you hear in the world is confusion and more confusion, separation and further separation from who you really are. And the further you get away from the truth of who you are, the further you get away from the truth of who you are, the greater your confusion and the greater your suffering, both in mind and in body. But read these words and speak them, for they are the truth in your consciousness of what you are. You are love. Put away the definitions that the world would seek you to be distracted with. Put away those definitions, put away those distractions, and go within and reassert the truth of who you are. And the truth of who you are would be that which would do no harm, for love does not harm. Love does not create suffering. Love does not manufacture disease. Love does not produce war. It does not produce pain and suffering. Love heals. Love evolves. Love creates. Love learns. Love expands. Love embraces. Love includes. It is curious. It is playful. You must remember who you are, not what the world is telling you you are supposed to be. The healing of your body, the healing of your mind begins when you understand that there is only one fundamental truth to what you are, and that from that fundamental truth, all functions and thoughts should derive their origins. Think of all thoughts and all actions that you could do if they were all derived from love. Your world would be significantly different now. There would be far less suffering. There would be no illusions of overpopulation. You have such a beautiful planet capable of sustaining life far beyond anything any man of themselves could hopefully conceive. But you have the opportunity to realize, again, who you are. At this time, I would also like to emanate through this one a vibrational energy of healing for those of you that have ears to hear and eyes to see. Be open and receptive to the vibration of love, which is a function of healing, which means that if you are love, then you are also a function of healing, unless you are distracted from that truth. Unless you are distracted from that truth, then there is confusion. But let us make this as simple and easy as possible. We will emanate this energy much the same way as your so-called leaders would emanate their ideas, their conflicting beliefs and philosophies and ideologies that have led to greater and greater divisiveness in the human collective consciousness. Indeed, in your homes, in your communities, and in your countries, this divisiveness continues to grow. But if you return to this place of the truth of what you are, then you would be able to see very clearly, those are the words of love. Those are not the words of love. Those are the words and actions of love. Those are not the words and actions of love. When you are in the vibrational state of your being what you are as love, then you will know the truth. And no man could enslave you or deceive you if you understand what you are. For you would hear, these are not the words of love, they are the words of fear. You would hear it in their voices, you would see it in their actions, and you could not deny it. Nor could they enslave you any further, nor cause you to suffer any more, if you turn inward to the truth of who you are as love. In the function of the vibration of your being, what you are, there is healing, and it is natural and it is spontaneous. And the function of healing from the vibration of love will guide you to know what to eat and what to drink, what to think, what to say. The vibration of love will guide you very specifically, as will the vibration of fear. Your only confusion is that you've been led to believe that there are conditions in this world that you have no choice to alter or change, and nothing can be further from the truth. Your body is a very responsive and receptive mechanism, both from the senses of the external world, but most primarily from within you. And if you were able to pull your attentions away from what everybody else is telling you to think, to say, to believe, to do, if you were to return inward and consider, if I am love, what would I say and what would I do? What would I create and how would I be as love? If you consider these questions, you will begin to move away from fear, for the functions and exploration of love yields very different results than the functions and explorations of fear. And if you are willing to pursue your true nature as love, what you are, your world will change very rapidly. Healing is a function of love. Fear is a function of disease. Healing is a function of love. Fear is a function of disease. And you have been led to believe that you should be very fearful. Your so-called organized teachings and philosophies and religions often loan themselves to being afraid of something, somewhere, somehow. Many of them have disconnected you from this very fundamental truth that you are love. And it has been said by your greatest teachers, my brother Yeshua, that what you shall believe in your heart, so it shall be unto you. And if you allow a man to give you a belief, well, so it shall be unto you that you would accept their belief. Be very mindful for whom you listen to, what you allow yourself to accept as true or false. But from the understanding and the function of your consciousness as love, it necessitates that specific actions, words, and deeds will unfold. It is absolutely certain that the functions of love and the functions of fear are vastly different in both their cause and effects. But by the fruits of either, you will know if it is love or fear. By what has occurred, what is occurring in your world, you can know what is love or what is fear. What this leader is doing, is this what this leader is doing causing love or causing fear? By your fruits, you know them. You know them by what they do and what they do not. But the functions of love are very specific in how they will impact your mind. The functions of love, how they will impact your mind and what you will think, how that thinking will impact your body in terms of your health, and how that thinking will impact your world in terms of what you will do in interacting with this physical dimension of time and space, of which you are here for but a short time in the body you are currently hearing these words through. So I came here today to offer you this simple truth, that you might embrace it and engage it, that you could remember that in love there is no suffering. Only in fear can there be suffering. And those that would teach you the truth would ameliorate your suffering. They would guide you to understand how you might do this, how you would be free of your suffering through your own mind, your own will, your own creative process. You do not come here to be like everybody else. You came here in a very unique and wondrous body, as a very unique and wondrous soul, with a mind that was completely clear and open for you to cultivate ideas and beliefs and information that produce the existing conditions in your material existence while you move through this plane of consciousness called time, space, and matter. And that you have the opportunity to, at any moment, evaluate and change what is in your mind or not. But the effects in your life are a direct result of whether you are functioning from love or fear. If you have been taught love or have you been taught fear. In your mind, your uncertainties and confusion do not exist because that is who you are. They exist because you've been given ideas and information that conflict with who you are. For if you understood that you are love, there would be no conflict in you. And you would not take on any ideas that would not be compatible with who you are. For love knows what love is. Love knows what love does. Love knows what love says. And you as love can know what is love and what is not. The function of love is wholeness and healing. It is community. It is unity. The function of fear is divisiveness. It is suffering. And you can know that which is evil and that which is good by that simple formula. That which causes fear is not of love. That which is causative of love is not of fear. And you are not of fear. You are of love. But you have been, again, drawn away from your true nature by these senses exclusively. And they speak loudly to you through their mechanisms of media to draw your attention further away from who you really are. They would have you fear this and fear that. Believe what they say without question. But in your heart, if you understand the vibration of what you are, you will always know what is love. And in truth, you always do. It can be confusing when you feel like you are alone and isolated from everybody because of your feelings, your thoughts, and you recognize that you are not like others, and then you seek to find a place to belong. And many of you will even try to belong, even if it causes you to suffer. But if you return to love, if you return to what you are, then you will begin to align yourself to those that are also doing the same. Disease is a function of fear, not a function of love. Remember these words. Disease is a function of fear, not a function of love. My goal is very simple, that the function of love, if you learn it, remember who you are, you shall heal both in body and in spirit and in mind. You shall heal. It is inevitable. It's as inevitable as the sun rising and setting. You are love. Think those words in your mind. Do not weigh the measure of that statement to what others would think or tell you, but weigh the value of that statement in your own energy. When you think those words, you are love. Of course, the reverse is true. You would think it, if you were speaking it for yourself, you would say, I am love. You would say that to yourself, I am love. But we say to you that you are love because we know this is the truth. If you assert that truth in your own mind, you will feel an immediate relief in just thinking that idea in your mind. You will feel a relief. For this is a statement not of fear. It is a vibrational offering of love. And the vibrational offering of love offers healing. It offers comfort. It offers freedom. So here we are as a beautiful collective unconscious species trying to end our suffering. And they keep telling me the same thing over and over again. You have to remember who you are. You are love. And that's so simple. It really is so simple, guys, that we are love. That is your fundamental nature. And I'll tell you, you would not be screaming or yelling. If you understood who you are, you would not be fighting. You would not be at war with anybody. If you truly knew that your function is of love, you'd be very different. How you'd speak to your family, how you'd speak to your neighbors, what you would do from love is very different than what we do when we're entrenched in the energy of fear. And much of what's on televisions and in theaters is much about being afraid. And they would tell you that that's very exciting to be entertained by fear. Try being entertained by love. Love is far more entertaining than fear. Right? Well, thank you. Oh, I like that. Somebody on TikTok is saying, will I overcome all that is taking over my happiness? Yes, Sock. Listen, you need to stay connected to love. Like, listen to what he's saying. He's transmitting a vibration of love to all of us. All the ascended masters, Yeshua, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, your guardian angels, the relatives that have left the physical dimension, they're always transmitting love to us. But we have to be open and receptive to it and remember that that is what you are. When you start to align yourself to that feeling of love, a feeling of love. And if you say, I don't feel love, I just feel sadness, I feel depression, it's not because that's who you are. It's because you've been trained and taught and given information that causes you to be sad and causes you to be depressed. You know? You're being told to think and believe things that cause you unnecessary suffering. But yeah, you'll overcome it very quickly if you do that. Align yourself to love. Somebody else is saying it's hard to get that back. No, it's not hard to get it back. It's not hard to get back to what you are. What you have to learn to do is to silence your mind, because the mind that you have isn't even yours. The mind that you have, the personality you have, isn't who you are. It's who you've been trained to believe you're supposed to think you are. And if you can teach your mind to be still, and you can teach your mind and your body to be still, to be quiet. And in that process, you'll begin to feel a sensation of who you are again. When you can just say to your mind, be still, be still, be still, be still. And the mind starts to quiet down. We go into this very deeply in our 102 Masterclass on liberation, where you learn how to quiet your mind and quiet your body. And I'll tell you something. I was a real hot mess for many years. And when I finally started getting trained by the beings that work with me now about how to quiet the body, how to still the mind, you begin to get in touch with who you are as a spiritual consciousness, as a function of love. And that's the most beautiful thing, when you can experience the peace of who you are. It's not peace isn't something you're going to get from the world. It's what you are. And when you can train your mind to be quiet, you get your body to be still, and you start to feel the vibration of what you are. Like, do this right now. If you're listening, take a slow, deep breath and relax. Quiet your mind. Just ask your mind to be quiet. Really simple tool they gave me to get the mind to be quiet is this. If there's a lot of noise going on in your mind, just put your left index finger or your right index finger to your lips and just make this sound go. And do that a few times and you'll watch as your mind starts to quiet automatically, because your mind is designed to be your servant, not your master. If you apply that again and again, and you gain more experience with getting your mind to be quiet, when the mind starts to settle down, when the personality that you've been given is put aside, you start to experience what you are as a being, as a consciousness, as an energy, as a soul, right? It's so important that you get that experience. And you're not going to get that experience from universities. You're not going to get that experience from conventional education. You have to go to that experience yourself. You have to go within. You have to quiet your mind, draw your attention away from this world. Go in. As Master Jesus says, the kingdom of God is within you. It really is. And you're a part of it. right? You really are a part of it. Somebody's asked me, how long have I been reading people? Well, I've been consciously reading people now, Lena, for about 4.5 years. I've been unconsciously reading people for probably 20 or 30 years, but not really understanding it. And I wasn't aware that I was being guided by angels and my guardian angels and ascended masters. I wasn't aware that they were speaking through me and writing through me and talking through me. So about 4.5 years it's been now that I've been actually actively allowing them to speak through me, work with me, guide me, help me with my body, with my mind, with my emotions. So about 4 years. And the courses and classes that they downloaded to us and that we put together on their behalf, these courses will instruct you on how to train your mind and body to be your servants again, how to get out of the hive mind of the world, how to remember the beautiful you that you are. Like, if you understand this statement that you are love, and you begin to experience that you are that vibration, it's the most wonderful thing to watch the face of somebody who's been in terrible pain for many years to suddenly begin to feel that they're not actually that terrible at all, that they are a function of love. When you start to remember that outside of the mind noise, you start to experience who you are again. And that gives you peace. It doesn't have to take you 4.5 years, or in my case, 63 years to get to this place. You can learn to get to that place of love in weeks. In weeks, literally. You can learn to alter and change your mind and the way your body works for you so that it serves you. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to create. Somebody's saying, oh, wonderful. I can feel it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm just going over here. A question from Blaine on YouTube for Archangel Raphael. In guided meditation, you help me temporarily remove the pain from my tooth. Do you have any suggestions on how to heal it without removing it? Yes, he's saying it's important you go to the source of the pain and to heal the pain. It is not about the tooth, but the quality of the pain that gave rise to the ache. It is not about the body reminding you that there's something within you, that there is still pain that is to be healed. But go to the place where the pain, you may use the starting point of your biology, where the pain is in your mouth, and you may go there and you may say to that pain, I am with you, I will take care of you, I will love you. We keep it very simple. The function of healing is not complex. It is very simple in that the consciousness in your body is listening and obeying you all of the time. But you need to go to the place where the pain is, not to attack it, but to go there and offer your love and your compassion and your kindness to that energy. You will feel immediate shift in that energy. If the pain reasserts itself afterwards, then you must go deeper into it. Find where the pain is originating in your thoughts, in your memories, in your emotions, for the body reflects what you hold in your mind. And there's only those two places you can make the correction for healing, and that is in the body or in the mind. They are very closely connected. And many of you have been given ideas about your bodies and your minds that are very confusing and conflicting. The belief that you cannot heal your body is a very prevalent one, that you need something outside of you to heal you, yet within you is the greatest healer in all of creation, working for you all of the time. Wow, thank you, Blaine. Really great question. Danielle asking for a blessing that the landlord does not almost quadruple the rent increase and instead remains faithful to the single amount initially offered. Yeah, let's just access that energy. And yeah, they're telling me to tell you this, Danielle. It's very important to tell yourself this, that everything is in good order. Go into the feeling. It is done. The feeling, it is already done. You are a creator. Transmit your love and gratitude to the landlord. Transmit your love and gratitude to the landlord. Transmit your love and gratitude to them. You can issue blessings. It is not just for the masters. It is not just for us to give you blessings, for you are capable of such things also. It has been said many times that you are as we are, you just have not realized it yet. But offer your blessing as well to the man that would give it to you. Offer your blessing to the one that you would give it to you. I like that. Thank you. Just scrolling down to questions. Question from Vertical Connection. My husband woke up shivering and shaking the other night. It lasted about 5 minutes. Is this a warning? Yeah, I'm being told that you need to tell your husband he needs to eat more living food. He needs to eat foods that are protein dense and water. Yes. Yeah, his body's not being fueled properly. He's not getting enough energy during the daytime. He's not eating properly. He's got to eat properly. The body's just telling him. So yes, in that sense, it's a warning. Your body cannot lie to you. Remember that. Your body can never, ever, ever, ever lie to you. It'll always tell you the truth about what it's experiencing so that you can correct it. I'm just going to scroll down here. Karen saying, is my late husband supporting my new career path? I was guided to it after he transitioned. Yes, he's still grateful. Oh, man. And more than that, he wants you to pursue a communion with others. Your happiness is very important to him. Yes. He wants you to release any remaining uncertainty you have around your choice. A hand on your shoulder. Yes. Right now, if you're sensitive enough, you can feel his energy on your shoulder like a hand. If you just let yourself feel that. Let yourself feel that. You can connect to your guides and angels, your loved ones, energetically. Anybody can learn to do that. It's not something special. I'm not special in that regard. You can learn to connect to your guides and angels. You can learn to connect to ascended masters. You can learn to connect to those who transitioned out of the physical body. Your 5 senses, sight, sound, touch, senses, smell, are not your only senses. You've got internal senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, that are for most people underdeveloped because you've been so caught up in the physical world, in smells and touches and tastes. You haven't developed your inner senses, but you can learn to develop them. Come to our masterclasses and learn how to open your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your claircognizance. Connect to the guides and angels that will help you on your journey. You are not alone. Someone, Silver Dragon's asking on TikTok, am I a walk-in? How do you know this? Well, sorry, I got somebody here saying everybody that's in a body is a walk-in. You have come into flesh to learn the function of creation. The dichotomy that many of you deal with is you've got this personality construct that you've acquired from this world that often conflicts with who you are, and you have a fragmented perception of yourself, believing that your personality is one thing and you are something else. But all of you have come into flesh to learn the function of creation. So in that regard, you are all walk-ins, but your mind and body must be placed in proper positions of operation over you. You must learn to train your mind and body to serve you, not to be subjective to them, to train them to serve you, to not remain subjective to them. I like that. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Barbara. Thank you so much. Yeah. 63 and free. Lena's asking, how do you heal a broken heart when you lose a loved one? Okay, Lena's asking that on TikTok, and it's a great question. We all come into this physical dimension to learn the function of creation. They keep telling me to say it again and again. I'll keep saying it again and again. Your body is not who you are. It is an instrument that we use while we're in this physical dimension. Your mind, your personality is not who you are. It's an instrument of information through which you can function creatively in this dimension. Change what's in your mind, you're going to change what your body does. And most people's minds are being run by the environment. But that place of consciousness, that place of consciousness that you need to get to end your suffering, or the belief or the illusion that you've lost someone, they will leave the physical body, but they're not lost to consciousness. Yes, they want you to feel them right now. They're telling me to tell you to feel them right now. Like, sit down, take a deep breath, and feel their energy. Most people, when they transition out of the body, they don't have a physical body. So yes, they are physically gone, and we do miss the presence of their physical body. But that's only one aspect of the person that you love. The body is just one aspect of the personality. The mind is another aspect. The soul is another aspect. And it's the soul that you miss. If you can connect to the soul, you'll never miss somebody ever again. Like, if you can just feel their presence with you. Anytime, they've been telling me to say this a lot recently too. Anytime you find yourself thinking about somebody that has left the physical dimension, you go, oh, I miss them. In that moment, you're actually trying to connect to them, and they're trying to connect to you. If you stop and pause just for a minute and feel their energy. They don't have a physical body. They can't speak to you in words. They can transmit thoughts to you if you're sensitive enough. If you've opened up clairaudience clear enough, you can hear their thoughts. They'll send thoughts to you. If you've opened up clairsentience, you can feel their energy around you. Those are inner senses. But most people, when they think they're gone from the physical dimension, they think they're gone. They're not gone. They're just not in a body. But they still exist in energy, and you can learn to train your awareness to perceive them. So when you're thinking of them out of nowhere, that's when they're present. They're trying to communicate to you energetically. Sit down, relax, go back, feel their presence with you. You can train your awareness to perceive beyond your five sensory self. Your five sensory self is just one part of you. It's not who you are. Your body's not who you are. It's an instrument you use. Please understand that, so that you can learn to put it in the right position for you. Thank you for that gifter badge. Thank you so much. She's so beautiful. Let's scroll down here. Hi, Drusilla. Good to see you. Hey, Drusilla. Hey, Con. Hi, guys. I'm just going here. I'm just seeing regarding questions over into a lot of questions. Just want to make sure I choose them wisely. Your question from Gabriel Moonlightful. What is my message I get when I'm mixing my ex and all of a sudden, someone else that I have no contact with? Okay, so this happens too. When you start to open up clairvoyance and clairsentience, the physical dimension of the sensory eyes, your eyes only see 10% of the color spectrum. Your ears only hear 10% of the sound wave spectrum. But your soul can tune into many bandwidths of consciousness and energy. So that can happen as you start to open up clairvoyance or clairaudience or clairsentience, that you can start to hear and see and feel the presence of other beings around you. In our program, we have been taught to teach people to first raise the vibration of your body and your mind. And you do that by teaching yourself, grounding your body, putting good food in your body, exercising your body, drinking plenty of proper water, putting the things your body needs in it. Raise your vibration so you'll tune into the energies, the frequencies of beings that are at higher frequencies. Because a lot of people, if they don't practice this, and they're angry and upset and they want to talk to spirits, they're going to communicate with spirits on a low vibrational plane of energy. Your consciousness, your emotion organizes what frequency you're going to tune into with beings. So yeah, it's normal and natural that you can open up to beings at a higher frequency. So if you're looking to connect to your loved one and they're at a certain frequency, then you can connect to others that are on that same bandwidth that you're tuned into with them. Much like a radio station, you tune your attention according to the quality of your emotions to what you will pick up, right? But that's very exciting. I'm really happy to hear you can do that, because it is important. You are not alone in this physical dimension. You don't have to depend upon the words and laws of men. You can learn to connect to your guides, your angels, ascended masters that will give you information that you cannot get from this physical world. And there are people in this world that do not want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know this about yourself. They don't want to know that your true function is that you are love. There are so many people on this planet that don't want you to know the truth, that you are love. So they offer you confusion, they offer you drugs, they offer you bad food, they offer you poisoned water to keep you stuck in your suffering and your fear. And that is not who you are. That's why it doesn't feel good. You don't feel good because it's not who you are. Fear is not who you are, right? So Angel on TikTok asking, I've been told I have the ability. Can you help me figure out if I'm a healer, a psychic, or a medium? Okay, everybody has this capacity. Every single soul that comes in this dimension, with the exception of some of those that are being distorted by the toxins and the programming of their minds, but everybody has the faculties of the five senses of the body: sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, and everybody have these other faculties, the invisible faculties, the non-physical ones, of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. Everyone is born with those. As you're born with five senses of the body, you're born with these other senses. The world, unfortunately, pulls you into only the sense world. You get drawn into what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, and the other senses do not get developed. And the existing educational systems on the planet today do not loan themselves to teaching you how to open up your clairvoyance and how to open up your claircognizance or your clairsentience or your clairvoyance. They don't teach you that in schools, because then you would not be able to be controlled or manipulated if you could get information that's unique, right? So they give you all the information they want you to have in this dimension, but you can open up. Everybody has these gifts. They're natural, normal parts of you, like your arms and legs are a natural, normal part of you, of your body. Clairvoyance, clairaudience are natural, normal parts of what you are as a soul, as a spiritual entity, right? But you have to develop those. They have to be developed by choice, by will. If you want a reading with me, Bella, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com or torontomedium.com, and you can book a reading there. I have half-hour readings and I have 1 hour readings. And yeah, I don't do full readings here on TikTok or YouTube, because sometimes very personal and intimate information can come out, and it's quite moving to see that happen. But it's not always something you want the rest of the world to know. Certain things about your life, your past, your future, your soul purpose. Beth is asking, will our new business excel on TikTok? This is something everybody needs to know about creation. Thank you for asking that question, Beth. The feeling precedes the manifestation. This is what they tell me. The feeling precedes the manifestation. So the feeling of success is something you can generate in your consciousness. And the feeling is an emotion that causes actions. Literally, every thought you have generates an energy that becomes an emotion that causes an action. So you want to get connected to the feeling of your successful business. Like, if it is already successful, how does that feel? And if you connect to that feeling of how successful it is, in that moment, you'll be generating the energy for the business to be successful. And that energy will also make you think differently. It'll make you do things differently, and will attract different people that are in alignment with that energy. So please, Beth, sit down in the feeling, and tell your partner to do the same thing. Sit down in the feeling of the energy of your business being successful. Like, really be in it, embody that energy, and then radiate that energy out into the environment around you. Again, we got our 102 Masterclass Liberation coming up. Masterclass 102 Liberation. It's literally about getting liberated from your mind and body and releasing old, dense emotions from your body. Because a lot of people store old emotions in the body, and it keeps them trapped in the past. And in liberation, you literally learn to release yourself from the past, and then you learn how to draw in new energies. It's a very fascinating and simple and exciting program, and it's in a wonderful private learning environment that will let you feel free enough to explore all the possibilities that are available to you. Yes, I see that. Again, if you're on TikTok, you're seeing this in reverse, but it's the same thing. You are love. It's what you are. And we'll get that corrected soon, so I can figure out how I can do the mirroring on TikTok. But for now, if you get this idea, whether it's in reverse or forward, it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Someone is saying on, Bella's asking, why do I keep having a dream of cheating on my boyfriend? I have never cheated before and don't want to. It's not about cheating on your boyfriend. There are things that the two of you need to explore. It's not cheating, but there's a level of exploration that you two need to engage in intimately. I'm going to leave it at that because the information they're giving me, again, can be very intimate. But Bella, you and he need to explore other aspects of intimacy that you've both been afraid to share with each other, discuss with each other, right? Intimacy with each other, right? It's really important. Thank you. Great question. Question from Barbara. Is there a message for my husband? Is there a message for yeah. Tell him not to be so hard on himself. He's got to stop that in his head. He's got to stop that hard thinking on himself. You are enough. Yes. They want me to tell you, you are enough and sufficient. It is important you realize this about yourself, that this is the truth. You are enough and you are sufficient. It gets much easier if you understand what you are. That as a consciousness that is a function of love, what will be thought in your mind, what you will give attention to in this world will be very different, and how you will change quite rapidly. Ask yourself this simple question: is what I am thinking in this mind love? Is what I'm speaking with my words love? Is what I'm doing with my body a function of love? If you answer those questions, you will always be guided back to the truth of who you are, which is love. You are love. Those questions will always lead you back to who you are. No matter what your condition or who is hearing this right now, if you ask yourself this question: are these thoughts in my mind of love? Are these words I speak of love? Are these actions I'm doing of love? If they are not, then do not do them. Do that which is of love, and you will return to the peace that is rightfully yours. Love is peace. Love is compassion. It is kindness. It is playful. It is nurturing. It is curious, exciting, and dynamic. Oh, thank you so much. Great question. Somebody's asking, are all the ascended masters accounted for? No, that's it. There's no. It's like saying, can all the people be accounted? No, there are beings that come through. I don't even know who they are. Sometimes they'll just give me information to pass on to people. But there is like an infinite line of beings throughout all of creation, not just in this physical dimension, but in the non-physical dimensions. There is no set number. It's like how many leaves, how many blades of grass are on the planet, right? It's kind of like that. So yeah, there are many ascended masters. I connect to predominantly, 12 or 13 ascended masters individually, but I also have these two collectives, the Divine Collective, the Galactic Federation, that work through me as well. So there are collectives of masters as well. But there's also guardian angels and archangels. There are beings that have left the physical body that will communicate to you, Joan of Arc, Hermes Trismegistus. You can connect to many beings. So there's no set number on how many masters there are. There are many, though. Far too many for me to count. Someone's asking, when will I get justice for my son? Release the anger and the justice will come. Release your anger and the justice will come. Yes, I understand. It's important that you champion your son's rights, but do not do it from your anger. Do it from your love. Love can speak very loudly, and it can seem very scary, but love is very powerful, and it is fearless. But do not let your anger be that which guides your function. You may let your love be strong and fearless. And again, the number 3 months is what comes in 3 months when that will be completed. 3 months. So many things. Loretta is saying, I love Archangel Raphael and work with him all the time, especially with my animal healing course on people. I'm asking at the moment to help me lose about 7 pounds. I am vegan and do lots of fruits and veggies. That's wonderful, Loretta. Yeah, you've done some amazing healing work. So someone's saying here, Sarita Marcello, will my brain tumor miraculously disappear? My deep grief from my partner's transition has been overwhelming. Is he peacefully free from pain in heaven? God bless you always. Thank you, Sarita. I'm being told to tell you it is possible, but your love with this one inclines you to pursue him. And we have seen this many times where you wish to go with the dear ones that have left the physical dimension, but your journey is yours. Yes. The pain and suffering that you carry is unnecessary. If you move yourself to the place in your mind where that pain is carried, you call it what you call it a tumor, is from our perspective a place where you hold great pains. And if you go to that place, instead of being fearful and frightful about it, bring your love to it. Bring your love to that place and say, I am with you. I love you. Bring your love to your suffering, and your suffering will be no more. Yes, your dear one is with you. He is not far from you at all. Your pain prevents you from hearing him and feeling his presence. We see this a lot. Many of you go into this illusion of pain and suffering that you literally keep yourself disconnected from perceiving the very ones you want to perceive. And yet they are all around you energetically. They're just not in a physical body as you are in a physical body. Wow, thank you, Sarita. I'm asking Archangel Raphael to send a very specific frequency of love right into the very central nexus of that energetic manifestation in the brain, right? Emotion organizes all matter. My guardian angel told me this about 3 years ago. He said, William, emotion is the 5th state of energy, and it organizes all forms of matter below it, right? Solids, liquids, gases, electrons, subatomic particles are all organized by emotional energy. And we are able to create emotional energy. You can create joy with your consciousness. You can create fear, or you can let other people create emotions for you. But he loves you very much, Sarita. Do not fear. Question from Animo. Can you reiterate the method given by Master Jesus on how to stop self-critical thoughts? He shared it 4 years ago, and it worked perfectly. I take it back. I forgive you. I love you. Geez. I'm not sure. What did he say that? I remember that. I actually remember him saying that. Yeah. It's I don't remember the exact wording of it, but there's a philosophy, a Hawaiian philosophy called Ho'oponopono, where they have a very similar thing that he told us that day. He said, when you find yourself judging somebody, you say, I take that back with love and grace, and I return to you love and grace. But it's basically taking back the projection of your anger at that person, taking back your projections of anger towards that person. Yes, I forgive you. I love you. Yeah, that was like 4 years ago. That's quite some time ago. Again, I don't eavesdrop on a lot of the readings. Information comes from me. I don't have a memory. I'm not doing like a memory process. When I'm channeling, I'm not trying to remember everything they say. So when it happens, it happens. It's for that moment, for that time, for that place, for that space. Moran's asking on YouTube, I have a route that I walk almost every day. Is it possible to receive a message from the plants that are there? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Plants are wonderful creatures, and the entities that work with them, the divas and others that work with them, are remarkable to get in touch with. But each plant, again, will communicate on the level of its consciousness. Yes, but you can. Like if you stop, a lot of people get into the idea of the tree might speak to me in words. No, they speak to you in vibrations. They don't have vocal cords. They don't have a cognitive function like we do, but they communicate in energy. So when you're walking on that walk, if you pick a particular plant, don't try to figure out what it's going to say, but just feel what you feel and transmit the feeling you have to the plant. And then just be aware of what it transmits back to you. Because when you emanate a feeling and energy, you'll get a response. But it's a lot of people try to do it on the mental, physical level. You got to feel it on the level of energy, Moran. So on your walk, like stop at specific plants and just send out a connect them, feel their energy, and then feel what comes back to you from them. And you'll start to build, as you gain more experience with feeling the energy of plants, you'll start to understand the vibrational meaning of that energy. Like my plants here, our plants here, they'll tell me when they're thirsty. They'll literally tell me. I can feel the energy of them. We need some water. We need this. You know, I don't know if you can see it. Our plants are doing really, really, really well. So yeah, you want to really get into the energy because plants talk on the level of energy that's not in language the same way. So that doesn't mean that they can't, because I know some really high evolved plants like orchids can communicate thought in a very primitive way. But thank you for that. Oh, thank you, Loretta. Loretta's asking, where can you buy this T-shirt? Well, we're going to be arranging a store in the not too distant future, so this will be one of the T-shirts we will have available on the store on YouTube, and hopefully on the website store as well. But yeah, it's a beautiful shirt, and it's the truth about who you are. You are love. I love that. Scroll up here. Wow, lots of great questions today, guys. We won't be able to get to all of them. Other ways. By the way, if you're new to the channel on YouTube or you're on TikTok, remember to give me a follow, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by using the super chats on YouTube. If you've got a really important question on YouTube, you can always use the super chat, and I will be able to see you to prioritize your question. So remember that. Next, Sarita here is saying, thank you so much for reading my message. Thank you for your assurance. I'm already feeling the blessing of healing. Yes, that's the whole thing. He's not left you, but you want to join him. But feel his presence, please. When a person that you love very deeply leaves their physical body, that doesn't mean they cease to exist, and you can connect to them on a level of energy. Like again, opening up clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, clear cognizance, clear audience, clear sentience. Opening up your non-physical senses will let you perceive realms of consciousness beyond the 5 sensory world. Very important. Not enough, and it's not being taught in school, so people are stuck in the 5 sensory world. Jackie said, I've received an intuitive medical information about my family recently. I received the message that my mom has undiagnosed autism, and that would make so much sense. Is that true? It's not so much that it's undiagnosed. I'm being told that there was something that she consumed a lot of. Yes, there's something she consumed in quite a lot of that actually caused that functional condition. Understand, many of your existing conditions in what you call your biological world are not products of who you are, but products of what has been done to your biology by your environment, the influences that it places upon you, let us say, the errant behavior of those in positions of authority that have no interest in you being happy, but gain great benefit from your suffering, that they would precipitate and manifest unnecessary conditions through your bodies so that you could not function here as the sentient being that you truly are. Yes. Yes. So from the perspective of labels, we will not place labels on any soul. Those that would place a label on you that you are a disease or a sickness have a vested interest in seeing you suffering. The only thing we will speak to you is of the truth, that you are love. That is a truth. But I'm your mom. Yes. Yes. Remember, to return to your function of love. Return to your function of love. If you understand vibration and induction, then the transmission of love to those that you care most about will loan itself to even the miraculous. Love manifests miracles naturally. Sorry, just going through here. Okay, let's see if we got anybody on TikTok. Take 2 more questions, I think, today. So somebody's asking, hello, is there someone, the Shay is asking on TikTok, hello, is there someone around me? And who is it? Shay, sit down. Like, sit down. Take a deep breath. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Just let your mind go still with your breath. Use your breath. Like, relax the body with the breath, and then use the breath to relax the mind. And then as your mind gets quieter, sense and feel their energy around you. She's been trying to connect with you for a while now. You've known this for a while, but you have not been able to understand who it is because you keep trying to figure it out. Feel her energy. I don't know why, but I'm getting the words foosball, foosball or fuzzball, something like that. That will give you a connection. That word will give you a connection to her energy, which is playful and joyful, not serious at all. Like, you can learn, again, we in Masterclass 101 Awakening, we teach people how to begin to sense the energy of different beings that they want to work with. And it's a process. You have to train your inner senses. We've been so conditioned by the environment to think that the only reality is out here, that the inner senses lay dormant and untrained from birth. Everybody's born with clairvoyance. Everybody's born with clairsentience. Children between the ages of 0 and 6 mostly don't understand language, but they understand telepathy, right? That's another story, though. That's question. Yes, thank you, Drusilla. Thanks for all your support. Let's go up here. I need to be smaller. So somebody's saying, should I move to a smaller town for this new job? Don't shit on yourself. Don't shit on yourself, and don't do anything from a place of fear. Do whatever you're going to do, no matter what it is. Small town, big town, countryside, doesn't matter. The energy that you pursue anything with will organize the outcome. And if you're uncertain and you're afraid and you're anxious, that energy is going to create a certain outcome. If you get excited and thrilled and blissed out on what you want to do, then that energy is going to orchestrate very different conditions, and it'll also orchestrate the way you say things and do things with your body. So I wouldn't get too into anything other than the excitement about it. Don't shit on yourself, though. Yes. But from a practical standpoint, they're saying you want to wait a month before you make the move. Wait at least a month. But you want to get really centered in the energy of the joy of the job. Yeah, you want to feel the joy of anything. If you're not feeling the joy of something, you're not going to get joy from it. The word should is an energy that's not very conducive to what you want. Yeah, that's Archangel Michael T. Miller. It's Archangel Michael you're catching around you, right? Archangel Michael is trying to connect to you. So when you get those flashes or you feel the presence, sit down, clear your mind, and let yourself engage his energy. And for those of you that are just new to this, just hearing us for the first time, it's important you understand, before you try to do any form of mediumship or connect to spirit or anything like that, raise your vibration. You don't want to connect to spirits when you're angry or depressed because you're pulling lower vibrational energies. You want to get into a state of love and grace and joy. That's where you want to connect. That's where you connect to your guides, your angels at a higher vibrational plane. So important. A lot of people do not understand why a lot of this demonic stuff is happening on the planet. Because so many people are trying to ask for help from pain and anger and suffering. And you can't vibrate on a high frequency when you're on a low frequency. And you won't attract a high frequency from a low frequency. Yeah, I will. But I'm also being told to tell you that there are exceptions when you are earnestly wishing to surrender your suffering. When you're honestly, earnestly willing to surrender your suffering, and you call on Archangel Michael, or you call on Master Yeshua or Jesus, or you call on Raphael, you can get guidance. You can get immediate support. You can be uplifted very quickly, right? If the intention to release your suffering is clear. But that's so important. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Thank you for the support on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Really appreciate that. I'm going to answer one more question from Bingsy on YouTube. So I think it's a very fascinating question. I need answers to why I got saved from my near-death experience 3 times. And each time I got woken up by something saying to wake up. Yes, that's clairaudience, where you're hearing. You see, your body is not who you are. Your mind is not who you are. You are a soul. The imposition, the ways you put yourself in this position, you have work to do here, okay, Bingsy? You have work to do here that you can't figure out from this place of emotional distress that you've been living in. You can't get to the truth of who you are from fear, but you can get to the truth of who you are from love. And these beings that are trying to get you to wake up get away from your fear, get away from your addictions, get away from your judgment. You need to move away from those things. That's what they keep coming back to you for. And there's a simple way to do this. Remember, addiction is just a way to get away from your suffering that's inside you. And the suffering that's inside you wasn't yours. You didn't choose to suffer. Nobody chooses to suffer. It gets programmed into us from the environment. And yes, I will. They want me to tell you that it's really important to surrender your suffering. Like, even the act of drinking more water, more good water. Go out in nature, put your feet on the ground, feel the earth, get your body recalibrated to the electrical frequency that it's designed by nature to be in harmony with. Anyway, I want to invite all of you, listen, if you want to learn more about this, you want to experience how to liberate yourself from your suffering, come out to our 102 Masterclass on liberation. It starts this Saturday, April the 1st, and it is a game-changing and life-changing opportunity for anybody seeking to liberate themselves from unnecessary suffering. I want to wish you all much love. I want you all to have a wonderful and joyful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. So thanks, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support and your love. You are never alone, and remember these words today. You are love. Bye for now, everybody.